So the three main things we need to think about. Perception, how are we perceived? The expectations that our ideal customers have, and our positioning. What makes us unique, stand out, be different, why choose us? All very important things. I would love for you all just to take a minute now to think about who that ideal client is for you. I'm not talking about the ones that you could do any day of the week. I'm talking about the ones that when you think back on who has paid you money in the last year, and you know that they were easy to deal with, they were happy with the pricing, they followed your processes, you got great results for them, that client, who is that person? Just take a minute to think to yourself who that person is and keep them in mind for the rest of this presentation. Just give you 60 seconds to think about it. And then to make sure you're thinking about it, tell the person next to you who that client is. You can use a name if you want, you can use an alias, it doesn't matter. Just tell the person next to you who they are, what they do. Well, the rumble of the room makes me think you had someone in mind. This is good. All right. Important takeout number one. If that person didn't come to mind very quickly for you, then you need to spend some more time thinking about that. If you go out there broadly and try and communicate and reach to everyone, you will reach no one. No one will engage with you that much and really buy into what you're doing. So be very clear on that person. Now, there's a school of thought, and there will always be those people in the room who go, oh, I don't want to go too narrow. I'm going to be missing out on business if I go too narrow. I'll tell you now, you will get quicker traction if you are very clear and concise on who it is that you are going out there to help and what results you can get for those people. It doesn't mean you can only serve those people. You might have a few groups of those, but you always start with one and you make it very clear for them. Perfect example, had a conversation with one of our WA Leaders members last month. He's not in the room now, but he knows I'm going to mention it. 6 months ago, he was out there serving to everyone. We had a conversation about, you're very passionate about the construction industry. You need to tailor what you're doing for the construction industry. Talk about how you help them, design services for them, and promote the services that you've done with them. He was pretty hesitant to do that because he had clients that were in other industries. He had prospects that he could be going to in other industries. But he humoured me, he gave it a go. Fast forward 6 months, his words last month were, you were right, I've been getting more calls than ever before. People are actually listening to me when I send a message and I'm reaching out to them. They now see me as being the construction person to go to. So it does work, and that's just one example. So, know your target audience, key takeaway. But when it comes to a branding perspective, what do we need to be focusing on? 6 key areas here. Branding, anyone who's going, oh, branding's just a logo, it's really not. Here's our 6 main areas. We're going to do a bit of interaction today. We're going to start thinking about how this actually looks and how it applies, have a bit of a discussion around it as well. So, here's our first activity. Brand visual identity. So we're looking, when we say visual, we're thinking colours, fonts, layouts on a visual perspective. This is a made-up company. I'm not picking on anyone. Thank you, AI, for making up my company. So we've got here Secure Future Financial Planning. It's a financial planning business. Look, they have a website, they have a logo, they have a LinkedIn page with a banner on the top. It all looks and presents quite well, right? Colours are consistent, shapes are consistent, all that kind of thing. Now, I have a question for you. We're just going to do a raise of hands for this one. At first glance, I would love everyone's opinion on, do we think this business is positioned as being one of the more expensive in the market or one of the lower end or low cost options in the market? So more expensive or low cost. So I'm going to say, who votes for the more expensive side of the market? Who votes for the lowest cost side of the market? Okay, quite decisive about lower cost. Why? What comes to mind? Can anybody actually articulate it? It's okay. What's that, sorry?
Call us today.
Call us today.
It's not particularly targeted.
It's not, is it? It's quite broad. And we're kind of like open and ready for business to anyone. Let's go. What else jumps out?
Busy.
Busy. Like the concept of less is more. There's something about just stripping it back and not overwhelming people. One more, anything else that we picked up? It looks a bit like a scam site. Yes, it does. I actually put that in my prompt. Make it look like it's not authentic.
Swap that for